Hello YouTube, this is Froogle and welcome to Froogle's Hangar for January the 8th, 2015. Now I'm often asked in live streams what is my favourite FSX aircraft, and I invariably always say the A2A Simulations B-17. I'm never asked what my second favourite is. This is my second favourite. This is the Real Air Simulations Turbine Duke. In fact, this is the Real Air Simulations Turbine Duke version 2. Recently got released, about the end of the year, beginning of January they released this. It is one of my all-time favourite FSX aircraft. I can't wait to fly it. I have not successfully flown this yet, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's really good looking. Let me pop outside and show you this thing. It's really good. They've obviously uprated the textures inside and out. They've got in support now for complex GPS systems like the Flight 1 GT, whatever it's called from Flight 1, as well as the Reality XP gauges and GPS. They have a number of different liveries. I think there's 6. Each livery has a different panel inside the aircraft. They've changed the sounds. They've changed the flight dynamics. They've made it even more fluid than it already was, and that was one of the things that differentiated this aircraft from any other, in that it was just so fluid and so wonderful to fly. I'm just checking my levers here. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Let me move my prop levers to full, ready to start this up. This is so nice. Look at the texturing down here. Look. Very subtle texturing. And if I change my EasyDock view so you can actually see all that stuff. Hang on a second. See that? Subtle marks on the dashboard. You can obviously see that there is a material here that is not smooth to the touch. It's a little bit rough. Look at this, very subtle. I'm in love. I love this aircraft beforehand, and in fact I've called the Duke, the Real Air Duke and the Real Air Turbine Duke, the best GA twin-engined aircraft you can get in FSX, and now they've updated it. I can't wait to fly this. Only available for FSX right now. I'm not sure if it's FSX Steam compatible. I'm obviously using FSX Classic. Those of you who watch my vlog will know why. And so I'm running Orbex FTX Global, as well as this scenery, which is the Latin VFR John Wayne scenery. It's actually Latin VFR Orange County. So I've actually got proper John Wayne scenery here. Anyway, let me stop talking and let me just power this up. So we'll turn the battery on. That brings on some lights as well. Master switch can go on. We'll put some fuel into that left engine. Turn the ignition on. Make sure that we're clear on the left engine, which we currently are, and let's fire it up. So waiting for the RPM to rise there, N1 or N2. We'll feed in that condition lever now. Listen. Utterly amazing. They've changed the sounds on this to make the engine sound smoother, more realistic and more powerful, and they've done a wonderful job. They really have. Let's fire up the other engine. So turn that pump off. It's annoying. Second pump on. Ignition on. Starter on. Wait till we hit the right point, which is there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's turn the fuel off. Let's put the ignitions on auto. Turn the generators on. With the generators on, we can power up the avionics stacks. Very subtle clicks on these. Sounds great. There. Lovely. You can replace this GPS. It's got support. I don't know if I said, it's got support for the Reality XP stuff, as well as the new Flight 1 GPS sims that they've just released, the GTNs. They're supported as well. Let's bring these power levers back, precision levers back to low idle. Now they've also done a really good job of modeling preventable failures. They spent apparently a lot of time really looking at these engines and simulating how a turbine engine works. So they've accurately got the turbine lag in here now. So as I increase the power here, look, there's a delay. And then the engines, you hear them spooling up, which is wonderful. They've got all that in there, but if you mistreat the engines, that's a preventable failure. You can wreck an engine by treating it badly, and then you have to deal with it, which is great. In terms of the flight model, one of the things I always liked about the Real Air Sim stuff is they accurately model slips spins and stalls really, really well. They are actually doing that a little bit before A2A were, which is great. It just makes the aircraft feel so real. Alright, let's taxi out to the runway. We will try to take off and run a circuit here at John Wayne. And I just remembered I haven't turned any of my lights on, but it is Froogle's hangar. I'm not supposed to know what I'm doing in these. Let me go ahead and turn them on now. Let's get rid of the yoke. So we'll put the nav on, beacon, and taxi. There we go. Beautiful plane. Feels so good. It's very, very smooth. And you can feel those engines really pulling. This aircraft wants to pick up a lot of speed. The brakes are very effective. I'm not sure if that's realistic actually. I hear a lot of people in Duke saying the brakes aren't that effective. The brakes are very effective in this, to the point that if I just gently touch my left brake now, see the aircraft starting to drift over? So I think you've got to be fairly even when you land in how you apply these brakes. Lovely. And this scenery, this Latin VFR scenery looks really, really good. I have flown with this before. I did a live stream a few days ago in Prepared running this scenery and actually got an out of memory error. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time looking at the config tool for this scenery. I think I probably should figure out what I was doing wrong that enabled that error to come up in Prepared of all places. Hopefully we don't get that today in FSX. It does look really good though. The only problem I've got with it doesn't really fit in with the Orbex FTX global stuff. It kind of sticks out a bit like a sore thumb, but oh well. It looks good on the ground. Obviously also running Active Sky Next, also running Orbex Soft Clouds. Sorry, yeah, Orbex Soft Clouds. Is it Orbex Soft Clouds? It is, Orbex Soft Clouds. And Rex Soft Clouds, I'm sorry. And Rex 4 Texture Direct. Right, gingerly taxiing down here. They have something in these aircraft as well called Real View, which I'm currently running EasyDock, which has some movement of its own, but Real View simulates forces on the pilot. So when we unstick the wheels, if we do it a little bit unevenly, you'll see the plane kind of shudder as one wheel comes off the ground and the other one doesn't, which is so cool. Beautiful scenery. You can even see the grass there. And interestingly, quite a lot of feedback from that last vlog about FSX Steam Edition. The most interesting bit obviously being the people who are fans of FSX Steam Edition, saying long live FSX Steam Edition, and can't wait to get rid of the old dinosaur that is FSX because it's not very smooth and FSX Steam Edition is. I'm sorry, this looks pretty darn smooth to me, other than Track IR causing me some issues in Windows 8. And it looks amazing. All we need are cloud shadows and you've got Prepared. Alright, so as we come up to Kilo, where we're going to join the runway, let me adjust my heading bug here to match the runway. Just helps me stay in the pattern a little bit. I don't have to do math in my head and figure out where's 20 again. Good. And as I mentioned, they do simulate preventable failures in this. You can break the aircraft just by being incompetent. In fact, I did try recording this earlier and broke the aircraft by being incompetent. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let's roll out some flaps here. You see the reflections there on the windows? Little imperfections in the glass. Wonderful stuff. And there's that engine lag. Alright, so as we line up, let's increase the power. You'll hear those engines spool up realistically. Don't want to go completely full power. No need. Bouncy runway. Oh my goodness. Is that the plane or the runway? Speed is good. Okay. Let's gently pull back now. There's that shudder. Gear up. Nice rate of climb. We'll go flaps up. Probably a little too soon for flaps up, but it's okay. Coming up on 1,000 feet. We will level off and turn at 1,500. I hope. Start trimming this down. Bring the power back a little. Watching those needles, my engine needles, I don't really want to break this. It's not temperamental, but it is very powerful and very easy to very quickly damage the engines. You just check it. Flaps are up, gear is up, we're good. So let's start our turnaround. I do have to coordinate this. You can see the slip ball moving there. Let's try a gentle climb. We're not quite at 1,500. You can hear the wind on the airframe. Oh, a bit more coordination. That would be our crosswind as we leave John Wayne behind. Wonderful stuff. Still not quite at 1,500, but that's fine. But what we're going to do, let's start our next turn. We'll go downwind. A little back pressure. Try to bring the nose up. A little bit too much rudder, causing us to slip. I actually heard a very subtle shift in the wind in my left ear as we did that. We'll get that heading bug pointing at 6 o'clock, and that would mean we're on downwind. Speed is dropping, so we'll bring in some power. Gotta watch it though, those engines are very powerful. I mean, insanely powerful. This thing is a rocket. Very easy to overspeed. And there we go, we're at 1,500. Let me try and trim this out for the current power settings. In fact, I'm going to adjust those power settings a bit more. And you can see it in the video now, I hope, the aircraft moving in the air really naturally, very realistically. I am not quite trimmed. We are climbing. Should be about midfield. Yep, coming up on midfield now. Look at the way the reflections and textures on the glass there move. I can't wait to do an in-depth review of this aircraft. I really can't. Looking forward to spending a lot of hours with this. Track IR there, keep getting a little bit off center. Let's trim this a little bit more. If we trim it nose down slightly, we'll start to descend. We will pick up some speed, and then the aircraft should level off. If it's a proper aircraft, which this is. So speed's coming up. And you can see the nose is gently rising as well. Wonderful. I know a lot of you liked the yoke on the last video, so I'm going to turn it on here and you can see what I'm doing. How you are actually flying this aircraft, not just letting it coast along on virtual rails in the sky. We are a little off course. John Wayne is behind us, so let's start reducing the power. Start a turn round, descending about 500 feet per minute, slightly more. Oops. There we go. A bit less power, let the speed come down. We're going to need to put the flaps out fairly soon. We are base right about now. Great. I'm going to take runway 20 right this time, not left. Because first landing in this plane, aircraft, I have no idea how well I'm going to do or how much runway I'm going to need. 20 right here at John Wayne is considerably longer than 20 left. It's where the big planes land. Okay, we're going to get a little bit low here. So let's start feeding in some flaps. Trim this a touch more. Put the gear down now. We are low. The drag having a huge effect. Having to feed in quite a bit of power now. Trying to get the speed up a little bit. Ease our rate of descent as well. And we're lined up-ish. Oh, too much power. You see that? The turbine lag kicking in, and I'd increase the power, thinking I'm in a Cessna, not realizing I need to wait for those engines to react. You need to move the power levers and then wait. Move the power levers and wait. And you need to plan ahead. You cannot just suddenly increase power. I'm still a little bit low, but I think I can compensate here. We're going to basically fly this onto the runway, which is the correct way of doing things. It feels so natural. Love this plane. Love it. My favorite aircraft of 2015 is here. Alright. Whoa, flare. A little bit of a balloon there. Not quite on the center line, but it'll do. Oh! There's the real view shutter kicking in. Now we do have reverse on this. Beta range. We'll hold that on now. Alright, we'll come off that. Whoa! I pressed the brakes a little unevenly. Got a little squirrely. Oh, squeaking. Probably overheating. They do overheat. Everything is modeled. I hate to say it, talking about real air simulations aircraft, but everything is modeled to A2A simulations levels of quality, which is one of the things I love about those guys. So we're just going to cross the line here, I think, and we'll stop, and I'll try to fire up the replay. I don't have FS Recorder installed, so it will be a standard FSX replay. But it lets us take a look at the aircraft on the outside. There. Let's stop right about there. I'm going to put the parking brake on. And reset my view, disable track IR, and let's take a look. Hopefully this works. So let's look at the last 3 minutes, I think, of that flight. And maybe we can pop outside. Look at this. You get flap flutter, which means as you lower the flaps, if you start to go a little bit too fast, they do interact with the breeze going past the aircraft, and you see them fluttering a bit. And you can see also here the animations as those things move. They got the flaps. I think my speeds are good, so no flutter there, but here come the gear. Look at that. A wonderful animation. Aircraft sounding a bit like an angry bee here. Normally it doesn't. I think I'm going to put that down to FSX replay. There we go, now it sounds better. I should stop gushing, but this is such an incredible aircraft. If you like to fly twins, maybe you want to do some instrument stuff on Pilot Edge, I do. Get this. Seriously get this. Without doubt, the single best twin-engine GA aircraft there is. Let's see if we can go maybe to a tower view. I don't know how this is going to work in the standard replay, but we'll try it. There we go. So we're a little far out. Oops. Actually a little bit too far out. I don't like that at all. Let me go back to a normal view here. And I'll try to spin the camera and we can catch that landing and see how it looked. I thought it was pretty good. Very hard to land these. You do need to land them. You actually fly them down onto the runway. Much like a Baron. Look. Boom. Wonderful. We kick reverse on now. deep tone. Digging this. Can't wait to do a flight with it. Maybe we can do that as the call to action on this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment in the comment section below and tell me, where do you think I should fly this? Give me a route. Not a crazy route, not a 10-hour flight, because I'm going to edit it down obviously to 2 30-minute episodes, so a reasonable flight. Where should I take this Duke? What should I do with it? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, my name is Froogle. Do subscribe if you have not already, and come back next Thursday for the next episode of Froogles Hangar, or Sunday if you want to see this week's Froogle Sim news. See you guys.